Good morning everyone. This will be the start of the next vlog as we move into Kazakhstan. We are currently walking to where I hope some bikes are parked so that I can hire them and bike to the bus station. It is 8:45 a.m. and my bus leaves at 10 a.m. If I was to use public transport, apparently it would take an hour to get there, but if I can get one of these bikes it'll be 25 minutes, and then if I have that I can get some food before we go, otherwise I'm going to be a hungry boy today. So this will be the start of the vlog. We're moving into Kazakhstan. That's basically going to be it, and let's get going. I think that's a dark blue electric that I see. Yes, it is. Winner chicken dinner. Man, I look tired. So you might be wondering why not just get a taxi, and that is because a taxi would be about 25 RMB and this will be about 3 RMB, and it purely comes down to cost, and it'll be about the same time. So that's just the math I do in my head when I'm traveling like this, is how much time is it going to take and how much is it going to cost me. And the bus would have been 1 RMB, but a lot more walking and a lot more time. So that's why I made that decision, because I took 50 cents extra to save 30 minutes is fine. $4 extra to save not that much, to save nothing, and in terms of time, not worth it. Here's the moon. So I'm about 5 minutes walk from the bus station. I've dropped off the bike because I want to get some food. It's only 9:10, so I've actually got a heap of time because the bus leaves at 10. So I'll walk around, because this is going to be the last sort of walk around I have in China. This is going to be my last meal in China. It's almost eggs on toast, but it was only 8 RMB. I wanted noodles, but it's too early for them. So the good news is I'm extremely on time. The bad news is that mee shui was shut, and I was hoping to have my last mee shui this morning. That ice cream has been an everyday occurrence for me while I've been in China, and to not have it today on my last day is a bit devastating, but I'll move on. Also, not having noodles for breakfast, also quite sad, but can't really do anything about it. It's one of those things about leaving a country that I always get a weird feeling that I have unfinished business, but I think it's always more the fact that I know I'm about to change to a new country, which is always the worst aspect of traveling, because I'm going to have to learn new things. I'm going to have to learn a new currency. I'm going to have to get my SIM sorted. I'm going to have to figure out how much things should cost so that people don't rip me off. And whereas I'm comfortable in China now because I've spent 6 weeks. So it's one of those things about changing countries. I don't know if other people get it. I think quite a few people get it as well. Yeah, you feel like you haven't done everything, but also you're onto something new, so it's a weird mix of feelings as you leave. So while I'm sitting here waiting, I just went to the toilet, and the first drain, it's just one long drain toilet I've seen in all of China, and it's the last toilet I see potentially. That's so cool. I had heard stories about them existing, but I had not seen one in 6 weeks, and then I get to see it on the last day in this bus station. They're disgusting, but that was cool. The bus has dropped us at some random point. None of the signs are in English, and I thought it was a departure thing, but we don't have to get our bags, which usually you have to get your bags and get them scanned. So maybe it's just different. I actually have no idea what's going on. I followed a bunch of people, but they were all just going to the bathroom. So I just took a slash. But I've also paid no attention to who's on my bus, so I can't tell who I need to follow. It's a bit confusing, but here it always is. So we're definitely at the border now, and all I ever think, because these buildings are always so impressive in China, are they just empty space? Do they just build them impractically big and then no one actually works in them? Because they're huge. I just don't get it. The mountains are looking lovely. And even on a tiny, for China, border town like this, they just have a bunch of skyscrapers. Always blows my mind. Like that one's brand new in the distance. It's cool. And then we've got all these people with whatever their bags of product are. They're gonna hold me up like crazy as they all go through the X-ray machine. But it's cool. That's what I'm here. Not a rush. We are through, people. I got a heap of questioning at leaving China, but they asked no questions when I came into Kazakhstan. The girl in the Chinese immigration officer, she just kept asking where I'd been, what I was doing. It's pretty intense. There's the bog over there. There's another one that's nicer right there, but that looks better on a video. We're in. I have no data because can't buy it there. So I'm just sitting on the bus reading. Kazakhstan is a big country. There's a lot of farmland around. It's pretty weird because jumping across the border, it was a 3-hour time difference, so we got across at about 2 o'clock China time, which was 11 o'clock in the morning Kazakh time, and that is one of the biggest time zone jumps you can do for a border crossing in the world, the biggest being between China and Afghanistan, which is 3.5 hours, all because China has their weird time zone thing. So yeah, we're just chilling on the bus and it's going pretty good. Happy. Also, I used the toilet. I'd been told it was pretty grim, but not the worst I've seen. If you've been in China, you'll see pretty bad, so this isn't that bad. It's just a squat toilet. I've arrived in Almaty. That was a long 9 hours. I feel I am drained. That seat was not comfortable in the end. I have no cash. I think I'm about 3 kilometers from my hostel, but apparently there's a ATM in this bus station, and then there's a mall across the road from memory, so maybe I can buy some data straight away and get some cash out. But first thoughts, traffic was horrific. We were sitting probably 100 meters from the bus station for about 10 minutes. The mountains look incredible. I tried to get some shots, but I can't, like, it's hard when you're just sitting in a bus and you're just driving past some random stuff, so. But yeah, here is the mall, I think. Don't know who came up with the name. Here's the local driving school. Had no idea what was going on when I walked up. And then here are the mountains, which are looking spectacular. Bit hazy, but I wonder how tall they are. Put it up. For a second I had no idea what was going on. I was like, this is not a mall, but I think the normal shops are down one of these alleys. We're in the west now. A bit of home, also very random. I am lost, but I have Wi-Fi. I don't know where this phone store is. I also haven't got cash out yet, but whatever. And I checked on Google Maps and I'm actually 7 kilometers away from my hostel. And then I tried to check what buses I could take, and Google Maps didn't have a bus guide, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Two of the things I've been looking for. Cash acquired. So the currency is called dinge or dinge. It's kind of like the Russian word for money, but they are 300 dinge for every dollar New Zealand. After an absolute nightmare, I think I'm at the right place. I found a subway and then I took it the wrong way, so I went to the wrong end of the subway line. Then, honestly, I think the city is massive because the amount of time between stations on that subway was insane, unless they're just doing loops, but it was crazy. I think I was sitting on it for like 30 minutes. And that mall I was in was 1.5 kilometers long, which is also crazy. And it was single story. I have no idea why you would build a mall that's 1.5 kilometers long and only has one story, but welcome to Kazakhstan, I guess. So apparently this is McDonald's. They got renamed after Russia invaded Ukraine, so now it's called I'm gonna have to try it out. Not now, but probably later. And here we are. I left my hostel 13.5 hours ago. And I've now arrived at the other one. That was shit. Probably one of the worst travel days I've had. Really bad. I hope the city gets a bit better as soon as I have data and know what apps to download, because that was horrific. Hello everyone. It's the next day. I don't know why I took so long. Actually I do, because I was talking to people and getting to be social for the first time in ages. So I've just got data. That cost me 10,000 dinge, which is about 33 New Zealand dollars, I think. No, 30 New Zealand dollars. And I've got unlimited data, so I'm set up for life. So at the moment, we're in some sort of square pedestrian walkway. There's people busking. It's a really nice vibe. There's art down here. It's cool. And yeah, I had a doner kebab, as I said. Last night I had the Macca's equivalent. It wasn't that great, but I think that was because I was so tired that I wasn't actually hungry and I couldn't even eat it, which was really sad. So I just had my Big Mac this morning when I woke up, which just gave me nostalgia, to be honest, because that's my entire uni years. Yeah, I've got a bit of a cold, but it's not too bad. And I kind of had a bad impression for a start with this place, but now that I'm walking around it a bit, it's got a really cool vibe. Really, there's a lot of trees, a lot of parks, lots of greenery, and then the food seems alright too, so we'll be seeing how it goes. I've booked until Monday, so I've booked 3 nights accommodation and then I'll keep going from there, but we'll see. Our first Kazakh supermarket. It's just like every other supermarket that we've been to. It looks a lot more Western, although they love a bit of salami. I'm here to get some water, and also the hostel that I'm at has a kitchen, so I might get some stuff to make breakfast with because they'll save a bit of cash, but we'll see what they've got. I'm now in the fare zone because I think some of this may be sparkling water, which if I get will just make me suicidal. Sparkling water is gross. It was sparkling water and I am suicidal, but life goes on. So, outside of buying the sparkling water, which I bought 2 bottles of, which has now made me suicidal, as I said, I also got some milk and some oats. Strawberry oats. So, that came to, I think the 2 waters were about 600, 2 New Zealand dollars, and then the milk was maybe like $2.50 New Zealand. 800 denge, and then the oats were 1,200 or something like that, so about $4 New Zealand. But yeah, now got breakfast. The subways are got murals. They're quite artistic. We are now on our way to a mall that is near my accommodation, hopefully to get some more stuff from the supermarket and hopefully some food as well. I have learnt that it isn't just China that doesn't use Google Maps, it is actually quite a few countries. So in Kazakhstan, instead of using Google Maps, they use a app called Yandex. Well, actually they use Tugis or something like that, but my phone won't let me download that, so I've got Yandex instead. It's been a big help because I can type in food and it'll tell me what's there and what the price is, and that's all I want in life. The problem I have in all these malls always is I can't work out what floor the food is on. I think it might be on the 3rd, but I don't know. So it wasn't on the 3rd floor, it was on the 5th floor. Got some fried rice with chicken. 2,290 tenge. So it's just over $6. Pretty good. And here is another supermarket, similar to the one that we saw earlier. It's a supermarket. It has things that you can purchase and consume. So there's definitely been an uptick in the sort of westernisation of the food that's available. But there's no Wheat Bix, which I'm really sad about. I've got some bananas. That's all I get. I was looking at food ingredients because I might cook a meal for myself, but I need to figure out what I actually want to cook, because one of the issues with when you're traveling is a lot of home cooking. You have like stock of spices and other flavors and sauces. So if you're gonna make a dish, it's gonna be pretty plain. So I need to figure out what I can make that won't be plain, but I won't have to buy a heap of stuff, and that will be fine. Other than that, Kazakhstan right now seems pretty good. Payments, I got only a bit of cash out because I didn't know, and the ATMs are no charges, but basically in Almaty at least, pretty much everyone just takes card, so you can just use your PayWave, which makes life easy. And then, yeah, I think it gets, if you get out into the country, cash becomes a lot more. Same with, everyone here speaks Russian and not really Kazakh, but apparently if you get out into the country, lots more people speak Kazakh. So it's interesting. I'll find out a bit more, but I think this will just be the end of the vlog. My first day in Almaty and the crossing yesterday, which was horrific, but all good. Ciao.